The reason why they use DNA from the cells of other humans and other animals in vaccines is to trigger an autoimmune reaction. Now, I'm going to set this up for everybody.
I feel sick.
This is to make you aware. This is the autoimmune industry complex. Inject people without them asking or knowing DNA from other species and other humans into their body. You will wreck their immune system and create autoimmune diseases for life. Do you want to know how I know it?
No.
Real simply. Have you ever heard of a person getting an organ transplant?
Sure.
Yes.
Name an organ that they like to transplant.
Kidneys.
Kidneys are a good one. Yep. Kidneys, liver, hearts, right? You get all these, right? Lungs for pulmonary fibrosis. They have lots of organs they do transplants from. When a person you've ever known gets an organ transplant, that organ is coming from another human.
Yeah.
So they're finding someone who died or has sacrificed their own organ, and they're going to put that organ inside of your body. Let's give the kidney, for example. When they do that and they wake you up from the surgery, they then immediately prescribe to you 10 to 15 drugs for life that are called anti-rejection drugs.
Okay.
Your immune system's going to reject the organ and kill it. Why? Your immune system knows it ain't yours.
Foreign, yeah.
So it's going to go attack it. After it creates antibodies that totally destroy that organ, if you weren't on those drugs, that organ that you just received from somebody else has the DNA structure of kidneys. Guess what happens after it gets done attacking that kidney? It's going to be, those antibodies are floating around in your body looking for what?
Kidneys.
Kidney cells, kidney tissue. They are going to then start attacking your kidneys, and you will develop autoimmunity of your kidneys, chronic kidney failure, and you will be on dialysis for life.
Jeez.
The body, we know, will reject and destroy any tissue that's foreign that isn't your DNA. This is a great design by God, by the way. Don't put other DNA in your body.
Right.
So now you put Cocker Spaniel DNA inside of a 6-month-old. You put hepatitis B inside of a 12-hour-old baby.
Yeah.
And you set them up for autoimmune diseases lifelong. This is why you get juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile diabetes,
Yes.
SIDS. Why did you get all these conditions of autism? This is
So
what they're
many
doing.
more diseases, malfunction. Like autoimmune diseases or something that you just not hear about now. It's like everybody. It's common. You're everywhere.
Oh, everybody in the audiences, have you ever wondered why it is so many children and adults are allergic to eggs? 7 out of the 9 flu vaccines have what's called ovalbumin, or by name, egg protein. Well, I looked that up. I wanted the world to see, why is there egg white in every one of these flu vaccines? Egg whites.
In the flu vaccine.
In the flu vaccine, 7 of the 9. So I looked it up. I wanted to know what eggs
It's
do
not
this
an
come
angel
from.
food cake.
I want to know what eggs, what egg whites from what animals are inside these flu vaccines. All right, so for the first 70 years of vaccine production, they were actually cultured in chicken eggs. They would actually inject. Judy Mikovits used to make them, vaccines at the NIH, injecting the substrate into chicken eggs to culture whatever it is they're trying to grow, that they then put in a syringe and inject inside of you. Any chicken egg protein they inject inside of you as a baby, you will develop lifelong egg allergies to. Just so you know, in the last 20 years, it's no longer chicken eggs.
What is it?
It's snake eggs.
Oh, you're kidding.
90% of all vaccines are manufactured in China, and look it up. There's documentaries about this all over. They are called Chinese snake villages, and they just culture snake eggs for the pharmaceutical giants in China to manufacture 90% of all of our vaccines that we receive in America.
What is the deal with snakes?
So chicken DNA, snake DNA. Do you want to know why there's so much autoimmunity, so many actual disease states, chronic illnesses in Americans? You're injecting foreign DNA that doesn't belong to you into you. And as long as you stay ignorant and blissfully happy to follow blindly the faith of your white coat authority figures, who don't know anything either, these little booklets will be very powerful. And I want everybody buying them and then giving them to their MDs after they can't answer your questions because none of them have a clue.
Can we get you back on when the book comes out?
You better believe it.
Cover this because
we're going to do it for all vaccines. The flu one's going to be first.
I don't think do any more interviews today. I'm done.
When they're running national days, weeks of it, and it's, everywhere you go, every billboard, Walgreens, CVS, get your flu shot.
I'm going to buy one of these books for Travis Kelsey and send him like a box of them.
No kidding.
Can I say one other thing before we go?
Of course.
I can't be more sick and disturbed than I am now, so go ahead.
So my presentation here a few minutes ago was totally different than anything I've done. I decided to show the world who was the real target of the pandemic called COVID. So I put it up. The American Diabetes Association just published that 40% of all COVID-19 deaths in America were in diabetics only. That's the largest percentage of anybody who died from COVID are diabetics worldwide. So I put up on the screen, the American Diabetes Association admits that 40% of all COVID deaths came from diabetics. All right, so let's introduce you to American Diabetes Association's mission statement and how long they've been around.
How long?
Since 1939 is when they were founded. And their mission statement is, we provide research to manage, cure, and prevent diabetes. That's their mission statement. So I went like this. How are they doing after 84 years?
How many where were we at in 1939?
So we just finished 4 years, and almost half everybody that died were diabetics in America. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So how are they doing with their prevention and cure of diabetes? They've been researching for 84 years. I put up on the screen a chart that the American Diabetes Association shows that in 1980, 41 years later after that organization was set up and collecting donations and research for diabetes to cure it and prevent it, I showed in 2010 they published on a bar graph that there was 5.5 million Americans with diabetes in 1980.
How many?
There was 5.5 million Americans with diabetes in 1980.
Okay.
They show it all the way to 2010. 2010, it's 21 million Americans are diabetics. And then I showed what is it right now in 2023. It's actually 38.4 million now. That's almost double in 13 years.
Yeah,
the whole chart just goes straight like this. So I showed the numbers and highlighted. I said, this is an organization committed for 84 years to prevent and cure diabetes. Are they working? Are they figuring it out?
Yes.
And then I showed that the World Health Organization just published that in the next 27 years, they expect 1.31 billion people on Earth to be diabetic, which these people didn't know it, and y'all don't either. Right now, there's only 500 million. They expect 2.5 times that in the next 27 years. So I went like this. All right, so you're an organization. For 84 years, you've been researching and creating products to cure and prevent diabetes. How well are they doing after 84 years? And I wanted to know, since 2010 to now, 2023, how much money has been donated to the American Diabetes Association to suck at curing diabetes? That's exactly what I put on the screen. How much have they been given to suck 100% at preventing COVID or preventing diabetes? So I put up every single Form 990 from the IRS, which they declare all revenue given to the American Diabetes Association every year since 2010. And I showed every single one of them and highlighted in red. Look at the red square. This is the amount of money donated every year. 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then I showed the total.
And?
The total is $2.5 billion has given to the American Diabetes Association.
Oh my God.
In the same time frame, they have doubled the amount of diabetes in this country.
You know, there's not a lot of, you can be an NFL coach, not win a game every year, and keep getting raises.
No.
And then I showed them. The American Diabetes in 1939 said they're committed to preventing and curing diabetes. How close are they? And I put up the American Diabetes Association's website, and it says, what is a cause of diabetes and the cure? It actually says, there is no known cure for diabetes, period. I showed them the whole world. I said, wait a minute. We've been giving this organization for 84 years billions of dollars to solve one problem. And then I said on the screen, how many of you do you think would be paid by your employer for 84 years to solve a problem specific to your audiences and customer base, and you never came up with a solution for 84 years? Would you still have a job?
No way.
And they all said, you would be fired. That was the next thing on the screen.
Yeah.
Nope, you would be fired. You wouldn't have a job. So this is when I showed them how much money they've been given. Then I showed a list. Currently, the medical profession actually has a list of all incurable diseases they know of. And on that list is cancer. So my last part of this presentation was, well, if cancer is still not curable, how long has the American Cancer Society been investing donations and research to look for a cure for cancer?
What year?
They started in 1913.
Really?
And then I showed just the last 3 years worth of donations to the American Cancer Society, who publishes There Is No Cure for Cancer. I just showed them. It is $4.5 billion have been donated in the last 3 years alone to a cancer organization who has no effing clue yet how to solve the problem. They've created an organization to research. So I set up on the screen, and everybody watching at home, please, for the love of God, stop giving money to the American Cancer Society, American Diabetes Association, any medical foundation. There is no known published cures of any of them, and we're giving them billions of dollars, and they are continuing to allow the problem they're professing to be looking for a fix for. They're not interested in that. So I put up on the screen, you want to donate your money to somebody? Donate to the Healing for the Ages group. That's 4 doctors who in 2024 will start doing research studies and proving to you we can reverse diabetes and cancer. And it's not going to cost billions of dollars. You just tell all your corporations and yourself, you want to make donations? Go to this donate button at healingfortheages.com. We, in January, are all meeting in Arizona to discuss the research studies we're going to do in preparation for our September conference. And we're going to bring those people up that we help cure and reverse diabetes, cancer, autoimmune disease, you name it. Watch. We need funding. They do not need funding.
Yes.
That's right.
My last slide was Albert Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result is insanity. It's insane to give these companies any more donations or money.
Yeah.
When in 84 years and 113 years later, there's zero solutions for it.
Such a great point. Okay, so you go to healingfortheages.com, donate there.
There's a donate button at the top.
If you want to learn more about the flu shot, go to
thedrartistshow.com.
The drartistshow.com. DR though, drartistshow.com.
We'll put the links to that down below, as well as the link to your speech up today.
So much
The
fun.
best.
We learned a ton.
The best.
Did you learn anything?
Thank you so much. Oh, always. Thank you so much.
And I don't know if I'm better or worse. I'm going to go take a shower.